loading up the, well, technically loading the trailer onto the car so we can pull it forward and unload the drift car off it. So I can just take the car in, take the trailer into work and get them guards made up. I have to do it during the week because I got shit to do on the weekend, so this will spread across a couple of nights. I'll keep you as informed as I can on the process, but yeah, this is what we're doing. And that is the story on how I get my drift car off. That angle. Back of the trailer is actually a bit higher than usual because of the cruises down the hill. But double beaver tail into 3-meter long fucking ramps. Obviously that's not the height it needs to be yet because the car will be going a lot lower. Currently the next day, I've decided what I'm going to do. Pretty much designed this so the springs were underslung, go under the axle, keep the trailer low to get the car off the back. But with the massive ramps I made, it's not really that much of an issue. I'm going to put the springs on the top of the axles, which will raise it about 120 mil. And so the wheels won't protrude above the deck, and then we'll just flat that. So I'm gonna jack it up, and I'm gonna do that here. a little bit tight squeeze. I got the cruiser in there and drift car next to the trailer, but I'll get it done. Got to clamp the springs and pull the center bolts out. So you put the center bolt head down the bottom and nut up the top, usual. I'm going to keep the fish plates on the axles. That's what centers the axle, so they'll go up here. But now, because of flipping the axle over, the brakes will be upside down, so I'm going to have to take the hubs off, pull the hubs off, unbolt the brakes, flip them 180 so they're facing the right way again, and put it all back together. But first off, I'm going to get to that, and then I'm going to mount the axles, and then I'm going to pull the hubs off one by one and turn them over. To this, we got a 13mm socket, put on the ratchet. This bunk-ass looking G-clamp that my brother made at school 5 years ago. Alright, so what you're going to do, you got to clamp the spring together, because once you undo that, all the springs will fly apart. So you clamp that together, undo the nut, hit it out. Copper hammer's preferred, so you don't damage the thread. You may or may not need vice grips. and then a punch to punch it all the way out. And that's it. So now the U-bolts will go under the axle like this, up over the spring. This bottom plate will now sit on there. That way. But yeah, so the axle will be under here, the load will be forcing down. It's pretty much the same, just everything's flipped. Alright, change of plan. Got all the center bolts done. Let's put the axles up here. I'm going to swap the... So what we're going to do is, because they used to sit like this, the springs go under there. So you got your handbrake lever, your brakes and shit. Now if I rotate this to where it's going to be, which is there, now brakes are all upside down. So I'm going to just pull the hubs off, unbolt the brakes, backing plates and shit, and swap them around so I don't have to cut and weld the fish plates back on. And put it all back together and put it up here just so it's easier. And I'm going to adjust the brakes properly this time because I didn't do that last time. So yeah. So just flip the brakes over. We'll split pin them and put the caps back on, and then adjust the brakes through these little bungs down here. Should have probably showed you what was inside. I'm gonna have some food, and then I won't show the process, but I'll show you inside the drums. You just have a look, show you everything. And yeah, we'll get back. Alright, so this is what the inside looks like. You got your spindle and the axle, brake shoes, this magnet gets the electric brakes. So the electricity amplifies this magnet, it shoots out and gets to the drum, so it slides, it grabs onto the face of the drum here, which then pulls the lever over. Really fucking hard to do. There we go. And if you see up here, opens the brakes. So that's how electric brakes work. It's just a magnet that grabs onto that and then forces the pads into the drum. Yeah, those two I've already flipped over. And I'm going to put them drums back on and then start getting the axles underneath the trailer again and put it all together. Alright, so here we are. Both axles are in, U-bolts are done up. So they're now on the bottom, which they are going to make the trailer a lot fucking higher. Now the mission is to get the wheels on the hubs, and all I've got is that little fucking jack there. Probably gonna have to do some dodgy ass shit and put the jack on my old motocross stand and jack up the back of the trailer and put on the stands higher and then wind the jockey wheel up and hope the fucker doesn't tip over. Wheels are on the trailer. That's how high it sits. See, the stand's not actually on it. That's how high the back sits. The front is it's actually down a little bit from where it'll sit on the back of the Raptor. So I've allowed, I think, 5mm for the suspension to 5mm for the suspension to compress, and then that's down another 4mm from that measurement. So pretty much that's where the front will sit, and it is a 0.6 degree lean down. So when you put the car on, I actually think it'll be pretty fucking good. Which is a bit better than what it was before because it was on a lean like that way. But hey, that doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the new height. Tires are below the guards, so we can pretty much flat panel across, do a little hump, maybe. Probably I want to get away with it, but I'm going to have to put the car on and then jack up an axle and see exactly how high they'll come up. So what I'd want to do is just flat across the whole top. It probably won't happen, but that'd be sick. Because fuck, I love the look of the tray with nothing on it. And yeah, when I take it into the workshop next to get the guards done, I will hurry the fuck up and mount this battery properly so I can actually wire all the wires up, because I've got to get the battery mounted first, and put in that bar, the bit of plate that comes up for the tire rack straps to run through. That's literally the last things to do before I can get it sandblasted and painted, which it should have been done a couple of months ago. It's getting a bit rusty, but yeah, taking my sweet ass fucking time with it. Sweet as, that's it for another week. It's can't do shit with it this weekend. I'll have to do it next weekend, so yeah, stay tuned.